Good morning, friends. Hope all of you are fine and fit, staying at home, healthy. So, good morning and welcome to class 12th English core. Some of you might have gone through the textbooks, others still waiting. You can see in Google also. We have the first chapter, the last lesson, written by Alphonse Daudet. This chapter deals with language or the importance of mother tongue. So the war was going on between Prussia and Germany. So at the end of the war, France was defeated. So the Germans, they were going to impose the German language in the province of Alsace and Lorraine. So the people of French got disappointed. They did not learn the French language. They were shocked and surprised. So as you start the chapter, there are two characters, M. Hamel, the boy, and the teacher, Franz. Both are there. The classroom is narrated. So M. Hamel was a teacher trying to teach them the French language, but they did not learn properly due to various reasons. So as the story develops, the teacher is trying to bring out the different elements of French language. He says it is the most logical and simplest language in the world. But they did not pay much attention to it. They did not realize the importance of it, and they could not learn the language. So, with a sense of remorse or a sense of repentance, they are analyzing where things went wrong. So, the Alphonse Daudet briefly describes about how the absence of mother tongue can play repercussions or ill effects in the life of the individual. So one day, while as usual the class started, the teacher started to teach. M. Hamel, the teacher. So Franz was late to school that day because he was scared of participles. He was supposed to study participles that day, but he did not know the ABC of participles. So he was dread of the fear of participles. He was scared of the teacher. So all those things made him late to school. But he quietly came. The teacher allowed him to enter the class. That day they were very sad because the order has come from Berlin. As I said in the beginning, in the introduction, France was defeated by Germans, and the German language is going to be imposed in the provinces of Alsace and Lorraine. So that was the atmosphere. So people were very depressed. They became very sentimental. So at that day, the classroom was very quiet. Nobody was speaking anything. They were very sad. Secondly, near the school there was a notice board. The notice board brought only bad news. The order of the commanding officer, the lost battles, all bad news came. So as the class started, the teacher also was very sentimental because he understood that next day onwards German language is going to be imposed. And he taught in that school for 40 years, 40 years of dedicated service. Now one fine day saying goodbye to it, it matters a lot for the teacher also. Suppose if you have the textbooks, or after this class, when you go through the chapter, you can see in the third paragraph, important question, why the notice board is important to them. So you can mark that and go ahead with the question answers. So the German language is going to be imposed. That with that feeling they started the class. Everybody was very quiet. And that day it was very special. So many new faces were there at the back bench. The hostler, the post office postmaster, they were sitting at the last bench to show their gratitude towards the teacher, because next day onwards they have to say bye bye to each other. So as the class started, the teacher said, we have to reproach ourselves with. You can see in the fourth paragraph, one sentence quite often asked in the board examinations, one extract, one line they give, you have to refer to the chapter, the author, explain what it means. We have great deal to reproach ourselves with. Reproach means blame. We have to blame ourselves for what? For not learning the French language. So the reasons are given. What are the reasons? First of all, the teacher was not strict. The teacher never demanded from the students. Whenever he wanted to go for fishing, he used to send them. The children went to the river Zar for sliding, fishing, boating, etc. So nobody paid much attention to the class. That is the reason he said, we blame ourselves, we reproach ourselves. We are blaming ourselves for not learning the French language. So that day the teacher was very well dressed with the dress which he used to wear for prize days and inspection days. Frilled shirt with cap, embroidered shirt, etc. etc. So that day he made it a very point that it should be a memorable class. And the teachers, students, the villagers, everybody became very, very sentimental. So as the class proceeded, the teacher expressed his feelings. The villagers, as I said, the postmaster, the hostler, they came there to express their gratitude, their love towards the teacher for his 40 years of service. And the teacher also was very much attached to school because the plants which he planted became big trees 40 years time. That all brings a lot of memories of the past, memories of attachment to the school. So as I said, Germans were very strict. German language is going to be imposed. So they said in the fifth paragraph, will they make them sing even the pigeons? Means that they were very strict. Even the pigeons will coo in German. That shows the extreme strictness of the Germans, how they are going to impose German language, and French will be abolished from the country, and Germans are going to take their places, the complete ruling they will take care. So as I said, the last lesson is our first chapter, the last lesson of French language. So at the end, what I am saying is the summary of the chapter. At the end, the teacher wrote on the blackboard, Vive la France. Vive la France means long live France. With a lot of sentiments, with a lot of love, he wrote on the blackboard, long live France. Even though they have not learned, this French language may live in the hearts and minds of the people. Into that attachment, with that great love, he departs from the class with a heavy heart. So the characters M. Hamel, France, you can read the chapter. What I said is the summary. Important questions like, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? Why the notice board is important to them? How the mother tongue influence an individual. Such things are narrated in this chapter, the last lesson. It is an eye-opener for us also. Sometimes we become very lenient, not serious regarding the study of language. Take example of even English. We say St. Dominic School, St. Dominic students, but I know how many of you are able to write and speak without mistakes. So at the beginning of this scholastic year, this chapter highlights, or this chapter tells us to take care of one's own language. It is good, it is important, even though Hindi is important, but still, as the time demands, the time requires, we need to be well versed in English, in reading, writing, speaking, and even in listening. You know that the 4 skills of English comprised of these skills. With constant practice, keeping in touch with the language, you can improve and you can become expert in writing and speaking. As I say, academic excellence is not only the criteria but for a successful life, but how you are able to write and read in any walks of life you go in the future. English is a must. So the first chapter is, what message they give us is, take care of one's own language. That is in class 12th. As you know, we have almost the same pattern as class 11th. I have taught in the class, you have seen that. Only one thing is different, there is no grammar. In board examination, we have only unseen passage comprehension, followed by writing skills, and then literature and language. No grammar. That does not mean that you don't have to study, but you are already studied. During these quarantine days, you can revise little bit of grammar and equip yourself. Make use of the time to study and make notes, read the text. Now you got an idea of the chapter, what is the summary of the chapter, how it is going to help us. Very simple chapter with a lot of message, with a lot of practical knowledge for our coming life, especially as you students. It will help you. So a detailed study of this first chapter. I think I have forgotten to mention the book. This book's name is Flamingo. I hope you might have purchased. We have two books, Flamingo and Vistas. Flamingo is the main book, Vistas the supplementary reader. So both books you need to buy. You can even see the summary in Google. You will get the chapter by summary. Probably those videos will be much better than what I give. So you can also study that, read, and make use of the time. In every difficulty, see an opportunity. I am also sitting at home finding it difficult, but it is an opportunity in this difficult time. So read, make use of the time. You are in class 12th, nothing to worry. Don't think that how things will work in the coming year. Nothing will happen. A lot of time. These things will get over maybe in 1 month time, but you can start preparing all subjects, start reading. You read before the teacher teaches. That will give you a guideline or an idea how to go about with. So this is in summary of the first chapter. Important questions. I have given 2-3. Then what was France supposed to be prepared for that day? You can see in the second paragraph the participles. Then what changes did the order from Berlin cause in that day in that particular school? What changes did the order from Berlin? What was the order that the German language will be imposed in the provinces of Alsace and Lorraine? So these questions please note. These are the important. Then now you can read with this my summary and important questions. You can read. Then tomorrow let's see with another chapter or another chapter summary. Important words I have already said once. One is reproach. Reproach means blame. Blame ourselves. Then thumbed at the edges. Thumbed at the edges means folded at the corners. You can note down folded at the corners. And the first paragraph you see in great dread of means immense fear of anxiety. France was scared of participles in great dread of. So these are the few words. Then one word in unison. Unison means in agreement, in harmony. These are the most important vocabulary, the words given there. And when you write in the question answer, you understand, make it your own, and use these words in writing. Because our target is board examination, how to write the answers, the content, the expression, it all matters. That we will see maybe another day. So when you have the content, you should express it. When you express the answers as well as short answer, the exact words used in NCERT, you should use in the question answer. That will bring you good marks. The complete mark they will give you. That shows that a student who has gone through the textbooks, not bluffing the teacher, not simply writing what he knows. So everything well planned, well pointed, well read, Such answers will give you good marks. See you tomorrow. Thank you.